And we're back on the Morning Brew, live with you here Wednesday morning. I'm Larry Ahrens with Amber Hedren. And, well, we don't want to call her a guest anymore. She's kind of an old friend of ours. Colleen McRoberts is here with, she is the open space coordinator with Bernaillo County. And we have a kind of a partnership going with you guys now, right?
Yeah, this is so exciting. From my understanding, we'll be here every week telling you about all the beautiful properties that we have that people can continue to go out and visit any day, but also about all the upcoming workshops that we have and other family fun events. So yeah, we're going to be telling people about lots of ways to get up and out and go and explore.
Beautiful. And I read that you have 57 events
It is
on the
quite
calendar
the busy
books.
year. That's right. We have something for everybody this year.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're going into the season. Who's this gentleman here?
This is Steve Glass.
Steve Glass, I'm chairman of the Ciudad Soil and Water Conservation District here.
Ah,
And Steve Glass is a jack of all trades. He knows a lot about soil and water. And in fact, I think we're going to be talking about both of those things this morning.
okay, good. Is this part of an event that's happening with the county?
It is, yeah. So this upcoming workshop that we're going to be doing this weekend, it's actually going to be a Friday and Saturday, is all about teaching people how to construct a water catchment for wildlife. But really the applications of learning how to construct water catchments or just water harvesting in general is very applicable to homeowners because especially folks in the East Mountains where this is going to be held, you know, a lot of those folks are on wells and wells go dry all the time or just, you know, having to find extra water to try to, you know, provide for your plants and your landscape can be challenging. So this will be a great workshop to learn about water harvesting in general, but of course we're going to be talking about wildlife and how we can look at the broader environment to provide water in times of drought. And do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, sure. Actually, the East Mountains is where Ciudad Soil and Water does most of our work. We, for probably a decade, have been out there thinning the forest. You know, as George Duda says, you don't know George, but he used to be with State Forestry, and his comment is that there are too many trees in the forest. The forest is being choked by trees. About a century of fire management has caused overgrowth. And so what we do is we go out and we thin with the objective of first reducing fire hazard, and second, it improves the water health of the watershed. And this project that we're working with Bernaillo County enhances that because it's going to collect water from a larger area for wildlife use. It's an excellent project. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, so we've actually already constructed one of these at Sabino Canyon Open Space, which is in the Manzanos. And they're very large structures, and you try to put them in places where there's wildlife corridors. And so this workshop we'll talk about how you build them, but then the next day on Saturday, we're actually going to go build another one with the help of the participants.
That'll be fun, and that'll be a really fun way for kids to really get in there and get dirty and build something that's actually going to be sustainable and something they can be proud of.
Yeah, this particular workshop is really for homeowners, you know, so there will be high school kids actually involved as a way to do some job training. We'll have folks from the South Valley Academy, from my understanding.
Great.
What's a catchment look like? Is it a little dam, a mini reservoir? What does it resemble when it's made?
You know, we have a picture. I'm not sure on this flyer if this is an easy thing to zoom in on. But
oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so what we're doing is you build a roof structure.
I see.
So when it rains, the roof structure will capture the rainfall and then it will divert it into a big holding tank.
Oh.
And then there's a gutter system where the water will then trickle through and making it accessible, therefore, for wildlife. And when we're talking about wildlife, you can see that they're very large structures. So it will be things like, you know, the mule deer and the bear and the cougars, like those kinds of animals. But we also put in little sticks and stuff so even lizards can get in and out and get a drink when they're thirsty. So we'll be actually building this thing. You build a roof structure and the frame. And
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I've never seen that before.
And there is water in New Mexico. We
does
collect water.
Once in a while.
Especially in the mountains.
Oh yeah, there's a remarkable amount of water in New Mexico. Yeah, we have much more water than we imagine. It's just a matter of that what we've done with the forests and what we've done with urban landscapes tends to let the water go rather than allowing us to capture it and use it.
Steve, as we're heading towards spring and summer season, what are you seeing out there as you're thinning the forest? Are we in a really dry period now, or it's not as bad
Yeah.
as it's been? Give us an assessment.
Well, I've been attending a lot of presentations on the current status of our precipitation, and we are heading into a drought period that rivals the drought of the 1950s,
Oh boy.
which was probably the most significant drought that we've seen since Europeans moved to this area. I've also heard it said that even though we're going into one of those major drought periods, it's still wetter than the norm for our environment. So we just live in an extremely dry part of the world. Unfortunately, as I said, with the excessive accumulation of vegetation in the East Mountains, that area is highly prone to a catastrophic wildfire. We're out there working really hard to work with private and public landowners, the county included, to remove some of that, bring that forest back to its healthy density. But we can do maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe 500 acres a year. There are tens of thousands of acres out there that need thinning with houses sprinkled in amongst the trees. So it's a very high danger situation out there. And we'd really like for homeowners to contact us and use our subsidy to help thin their properties. It's the only way to prevent a catastrophic event.
We've worked with the Ciudad Soil and Water Conservation District to do fuel thinning on a couple of our East Mountain properties. And so if landowners were interested to see what this looks like, especially after a few years, they can visit our properties. In fact, Sabino Canyon, where we're having this workshop this weekend, is a place that has been thinned a couple years ago.
Right.
And you can really see that it just looks healthier, it's more open.
great.
You can compare the density of our forest now compared to the national forest right next to the area where it hasn't been thinned yet.
Seems
So,
like
yeah.
homeowners in the East Mountains ought to definitely get on the ball with this one.
Couldn't agree more.
Oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
how do they get a hold of you, or how do they get this?
Our
Survey.
website is ciudadswcd.org, and we've got complete information about our subsidy program out there. They can contact our office at the number given on the website.
All right.
And I just want to mention that if people want to register for this free event this weekend, they just go to burnco.gov/open space. And we have money for homeowners who also would like to build one of these on their own property after they learn how to do it with the workshop.
That is
Thank you,
very
Colleen.
good insight.
Great stuff.
Thank you, Steve.
Colleen
Thank you,
McRoberts
Colleen.
with Bernaillo County and Steve Glass with the Ciudad Water and Conservation District here on the Morning Brew. We'll be back.